We are in the Christmas spirit. If you would like to see how I achieve this look, then keep watching.
Cause
Y'all ain't ready for this.
Starting off with the brows, of course, we are going in with our e.l.f. Brow Lift product. I will list a link below in the description box. Just click on that arrow and check it out. You can find this. It's very affordable, very affordable. You can find it at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, wherever you shop. It is an over-the-counter product. Now let's talk about how I feel about the e.l.f. Brow Lift. So for starters, I am obsessed with brow lamination, but I try to be conservative of my coins and not go get my brows done every month. So this product definitely reminds me of brow lamination. I only suggest this product if you have full brows. Like my brows are really scarce on the end, but it doesn't bother me. Or I can just simply fill them in if I choose. Next, I'm going in with the Laura Mercier eye cream, and I'm applying that, of course, only under my eye. Now, this is something new that I've added into my makeup routine because my eyes tend to be my under eye is so dry after I set and all my powders are applied, and I hate it. Now I'm going in with the Laura Mercier primer. This primer is fairly new to me. I probably used it about two to three times right now, so I can't give my honest opinion on it yet. No matter what primer I use, the Pore Professional, however you pronounce it, is always gonna be a primer that I include with another primer. This is always my secondary primer, no matter what primer I use first. This has been one of the best primers I've ever used. The smooth and blurring effect that it has, top tier, chef's kiss. It does leave that blurry, ashy look, but that's okay because we always gonna come back with some foundation, okay? Moving right along, we are going in with the e.l.f. Camo Foundation. This is also a drugstore foundation, so you can find it at Walmart, Walgreens, but the link is below in the description box. Now, what do I love about this foundation? One, it will always be a foundation that's included into my vanity. I love the texture of the foundation. It's not too thin. It's a very thick, full coverage foundation. I only used a dime size amount, and then I just focused on blending it out. The only time I can recall where I needed to add another foundation to this foundation was when I didn't have my exact color matching. And blending should take you a good solid maybe 5 to 7 minutes. Blending is not easy. Blending will have your arms burning. I thought when I just do my hair, that's the only time my arms burn. No, ma'am. Blending will have your arms burning, okay? So if your arms burning, you're doing something right. All right, moving along, we are applying our concealer, and guess who it is? Yes, it's e.l.f. again. I do like to go in with 2 shades of the e.l.f. concealer. One shade to highlight, and then the other shade is just closer to my skin tone, so I'm not too bright and I don't have that flashback look. I am still practicing and learning to do a very good highlight. I know I'm not 100% with my highlighting technique. So what I would do in one video, I just might not do in the next video because that's just where I'm at right now in my makeup journey. But this second shade, you see, is a little bit darker and a little closer to my skin tone. Now I'm going in with the product that personally I just feel like I can't live without, and that's the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 5, I believe, or 6. Of course, I'm going to drop the link below in the description box, but you can find this product in Morphe, or if you have a Morphe store near you or a Morphe store online, whatever. It's sold out of the UK, it's based out of the UK. Y'all, this is like my favorite concealer of all time. It is so easy to blend. Like, I have no trouble with this product. It's not mattifying. It doesn't dry down quick, like none of that. Once I set it with my eyeshadow or my setting powder, whatever I choose to set it with, then we're good. It's not moving. Moving right along into these two brushes. The one right here to the left with the black bristles, that is more round and fluffy, where the white bristles is more compacted. I just wanted to kind of point that out because it was really important when applying this eyeshadow, especially when we're dealing with black. Black eyeshadow, I'm using that as like a base color. Um, and I wanted to be careful not to over blend it to where it was nearly touching my eyebrows. So that's why I would choose a compacted brush in this setting. So it's funny, you're doing your makeup, you lose your train of thought. And you see how I switched over to the fluffy brush? And then you see how wide it is on my nose, how much is over blending. Even though I'm using that brown as a transition shade and making sure to blend it really, really well, it's still nearly touching my eyebrows, which is exactly what I didn't want it. But that's okay. Now I'm gonna go in right here with some micellar water to remove the shadows that's not needed because we're gonna get ready to do a cut crease. I have two different techniques that I go by when I'm doing my cut crease. This is the first one, taking the micellar water and removing the shadows. The reason I chose that for this particular look is because when it comes to black, black can ruin your entire look if you ask me. So say I was going with a yellow cut crease, just to throw that out there. If I would put yellow on top of black, you can imagine it might look really, really dark. So I remove those dark eyeshadows so that I get the true color of the eyeshadow that I'm gonna apply. Okay, as we get ready to do our cut crease, we need these two important products. You need a round brush that's flat, as well as a great concealer. Now, I'm still using P. Louise products here. I live by P. Louise when it comes to any base for my eyeshadow, any concealer for my eyeshadow. But I mean, there's other great things out there. This is just my favorite. While doing my cut crease, my hand is as light as a feather. I am gently swiping to the edge of my brow, also keeping right up under that shade where my shadows is. And I know y'all have heard this saying that your brows are not identical twins, they're fraternal twins. It's the same thing when it comes to your cut crease. They might not come out exactly the same, but you want them as close as possible. Remember when I said I enjoy this concealer because it's like a creamy texture. This is what I'm talking about. After I blend it out, I mean, of course, y'all can't feel it, but it has like a pasty, sticky feel to it, which lets me know it's tacky, it's ready for me to apply my eyeshadows. I love that. I love that. See, when I'm using a wet base concealer, or maybe it's water based, but I'm just saying wet base. When you blend it out, you can typically lift up the product if you do too much blending. Yeah, I don't be feeling that. So that's why P. Louise is one of my top products that I use for my eyeshadow base. Moving along, I went ahead and packed on the eyeshadow. So I know it looks like the eyeshadow is not sticking to that base, but it is. I was just First of all, I have the wrong brush in my hand. Remember I told y'all a fluffy brush is more for blending, not for packing eyeshadow. That's number one. And number two, I was just in such a rush to get to this part right here because I knew it was going to be tedious. I was nervous about doing it. Like, I had my concentration face on right here. So I took a water-based paint and to make that shape of how Rudolph looks with his nose and all that good stuff. Then I took that micellar water again to remove. I was supposed to be removing a little line, but I kept messing up. So I probably did this part about 2 to 3 times till I felt like I was getting somewhere. The first time I made it a little thick, the line was too thick, and then I had to go back. So, girl, like I said, this took me 2 or 3 times till I felt like I got it looking somewhat good. So now that we have that looking somewhat good, I went in with my P. Louise base again for a nice cleanup around my nose and under my eyes again. So that little shadow that's sticking out right there is going to be covered up with some concealer. Now that cleanup can be with concealer or it can be with foundation. That's totally your choice. Like, I just choose to use the same thing I've been using, which is that P. Louise base. Now I'm taking a brush and I'm just making sure that that's blended out really well, being very tedious, making sure that I do not get into that black underline there. So that's why I'm kind of making those strokes away from that line. Because if I mess up again, and it took me 2 or 3 times to already do it, I was going to be pissed, girl. Pissed. Now I'm going in and contouring my face. Um, I've learned when it comes to contouring, this is still an area that I'm growing in as well. But I have learned to make sure that you have a brush that has an angle so that you're going down your cheeks, okay? Now I'm going in with some e.l.f. concealer here and just underlining that area so that it gives me a nice looking lift appearance and blending that down. Taking my Rare Beauty blush, I put a little bit too much on, so I kind of took it off and placed it on the other side. This is actually a product that I enjoy in the summer, but because we had a pink going on with the eyeshadows and I knew that after I was done with this I was going to wash it off, I decided to pull this product out, making sure that I set it with the Ace Beau blush palette, which all of this is linked below again. Now we're going into our nose, focusing on the whole point of this video, right? The red nose that Rudolph has. So I'm taking that pink base again to shape my nose. And then, of course, I'm going to take some eyeshadow to pack it on. Now I'm taking some white face paint and just making little small dots all around my contoured area from my cheeks to my forehead to the other cheek. And making those dots range in size. At first, I felt like I was being a little too symmetrical, making lines like a line of dots. So I had to stop and just kind of roam all over my face and just dot it up and go back and change the sizes because I didn't want anything to look symmetrical. Oh my God, look at the bleed there, y'all. I was like, what is going on? But I just took a little dry Q-tip to clean it up. So when you're dealing with these water-based paints or face paints, make sure you don't put too much water. It literally takes a drop, one drop of water. Also had my beauty fan on standby so that these water paints can go ahead and dry down because I didn't want any more bleeding to occur. So as I applied them, I kind of kept the fan within reach or within range. So moving into the choker, I drew a bow that's supposed to be 2 bells. Y'all, I felt like this looked so country and so tacky. It's been so long since I've had to draw, and I just didn't have the time to be sitting there all night. I was already tired dealing with my face, and then trying to get these bells to look 100% perfect. Yeah, no, it wasn't gonna happen. So I just took a pencil and made a little trace of what I was trying to do, filled it in with my P. Louise paint. This part was not perfect. I mean, nothing is perfect, but I did my best. And when I got somewhat of an acceptable trace of the bow tie and the bells, I filled in with, so the yellow is actually another kind of face paint. The pink was the P. Louise base. Then I went back over it and traced with that black face paint so that it can bring out the trace a little bit more. Yeah, it was a little rough, but we got it done. Now I am going in with the black face paint again, and I'm creating my wing liner on top of my eyelid. I did make this wing a little thick, not on the end, but more so much on my eyelid, in which I didn't want it as thick, but it's okay because I still have to apply lashes, so it'll cover up that thickness a little bit. Moving on to the lips, so I am showing y'all two of the crayon case lipsticks, but I end up not using the black one because I was out of it. So I used a black eyeliner to outline the top of my lip. I actually overlined the top of my lip. And then I'm going to go in with that water-based paint again, or face paint, whichever one you want to call it. And I'm going to fill in my top lip. I couldn't find any black lipstick around, so that's cool. As long as we get the job done, right? Now, I was not done with the top lip. Don't think I'm going to leave my lip looking like that. But I went ahead and moved on to put on the bottom pink lipstick. And then I'm going to go back. Here I am going back and using that face paint again. Now I'm taking some of that eyelash glue and applying it to my nose because we're going to put a little glitter here. I don't buy like glitter glue, or they have all type of stuff out here. I use all products for different things, okay? I make my products universal and it works for me. So, taking that, applying it on my nose, and then I'm going to take a little loose glitter and take a brush and just pat it on. And 2 to 3 hours later, here we are. Now, this was my first holiday look for the year. It's not what I want it to be, but it's close enough. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please take a moment, subscribe to the channel. We have hit 500 subscribers. Now we are just focused on the watch hours, girls. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And until next time, peace, love, and blessings.